Hey guys, my name is David Yungin Kim, and I'm a mix engineer turned producer. I was born in South Korea, in Seoul to be exact, and I was raised in LA from the age of 4. I've been going back and forth working in Korea and the States, and my goal is to bridge the two cultures, especially when it comes to hip hop music. My album is basically a chronological story of my life and the things that I've gone through to this point. Part 1 is based on my history, on my past, starting with the song Homesick with Paul Blanco and Changmo. That song, it represents the feeling that I had moving from Korea to a foreign place and not knowing the language, missing home, feeling homesick, and then trying to assimilate into this culture. And then years later, going back to Seoul, where I was born, and still feeling like I wasn't quite home. So it's this constant journey of trying to find home within myself so that I can be home anywhere in the world. The next couple songs, No Lowkey, Speed Up, Love Me No More, and Run It Up, it's kind of the attitude that I developed being here, trying to break every stereotype that they had for the typical Korean or the typical Asian. When I was growing up, the Asians were supposed to be good at math and quiet and submissive and kind of nerdy, and I didn't like that at all because that's not what I represented and that's not how I felt inside. You know, I almost made it a mission to kind of crack all the stereotypes. So I joined football. I fought a lot when I was growing up. I was really loud and disobedient. You know, I had a lot of trouble with my teachers, and I don't know if I took it too far. I might have, but I think I succeeded in that goal. And No Lowkey represents the attitude, you know, like I refuse to be low key. I refuse to fit in. I'm gonna act out however I want to. The same goes for Run It Up, Love Me No More, Speed Up. They don't love me no more, but I don't give a fuck. Yeah, moving on from there, it's kind of where the things started to change. You know, as I got older, it's not so much about proving myself and pretending I'm this person. It's about who am I for real. Turbulence represents the turbulent air that I'm going through on this journey to discovering who I am. And then the destination is still unclear. With the song Kingpin, Loopy's struggles are kind of synonymous to my struggles, where we go through all this stuff, but you have to realize that at the end of the day, you're a king, you know? And without that confidence, you can't do anything in this world. The final song, Standout, with Jay Park, is how I was motivated through all of this. In this song, he talks about this love came over me, and that's the love for music. And this love for music, the love for hip hop that I've had, it's got me through some of the darkest times in my life, and it made me who I am, and it's motivated me and inspired me to keep going on. So the collaborations of this album were very well thought out. It was kind of a mixture between the people that I've worked with in the past, that I've crossed paths with, maybe even if it wasn't on a professional level, and then people that I've really wanted to work with. Like Jessie, for example, I've never met her in real life, but my friend Alex, he connected us, and you know, she's heard of me, I've heard of her, I know what she can do if I get her on a track, and I wanted to bring that like authentic like hip hop Jessie back. Paul Blanco and Changmo, I had a relationship with them prior. Changmo actually attended one of my workshops that I did in Korea, my first one ever. And he was a student. He was a paying student. And at the time, I didn't know who he was, but quickly I discovered how talented he was. So on every one of his albums, he gives me a song to mix. I've had the honor of working with him in the past. Through Changmo, I met Paul Blanco. And Paul, we just hit it off right away. We kind of had like a similar attitude about things. And yeah, we clicked. Moving on, Los and Don Mills. Los is my boy from back home. He's originally from LA also. I met Don Mills through Los at one of his shows in Seoul. Don Mills just seemed like a cool dude, man. Like, he's a big guy, but he's nice. He's got attitude, but he's still approachable, and I really wanted to do a song with him. Sokodomo, that's like my little bro. Since I heard on the the song, the one with Los, Davida. I heard her rap and I was like, yo, she's different. And I reached out to her via DM and she replied and we got a song together. PH1 is someone I met, in Seoul through mutual friends. I forget who, but I would see him here and there and I was a fan of his music and his style. So I reached out to him and he agreed to jump on. Justice is another guy. I saw his Dingo freestyle and I was like, yo, this guy is different. He's got some angst in him. He's got authenticity and he really has a lot of talent and I really, really needed him on the album. So I reached out to him and he hit me back and the rest is history. Jay Park, I've kind of known for a while, but we never knew each other on a personal level. When he was working with Hit Boy, I think it was on his Rock Nation stuff. He was in the studio when we met and since then we kind of kept in touch. He's also someone that I didn't know if he was going to be down, but through this process I got a lot closer to him and I appreciate his genuine love for the art and his willingness to help out. BM, that's like my little bro for real. He's one of my favorite people. BM, he is my little brother's best friend from elementary school. So I would come home from school or I would be ditching school and they would be home on a day that they're supposed to be at school. So I'm like, what are y'all doing here? They'll be playing video games. I'll jump on with them and I always really liked him. I heard that he moved to Korea. He's doing this dancing thing and then a couple years later, like I see him blow up and it was a full circle moment, for me. Seeing him from when he was 10 years old, 11 years old, to seeing him now doing what he's doing. And Bobby is someone that I haven't met yet, but through BM, we got in connection with his team, and he was super willing to jump on the song with me. And Lowkey is one of my closest friends in Korea. He's the first Korean hip-hop artist that I've had the pleasure of working with. And when I met Lowkey, I was reluctant to work with Korean artists. I don't know, it was just part of my identity crisis. I'm American. I gotta make it here. I gotta be successful with American artists to prove my point. But Lowkey definitely softened my heart and opened my eyes to what kind of talent is out there, what kind of other opportunities that are available to me. And through Lowkey, I reconnected with my culture. So thank you. I appreciate every single person that's on the album with me. The creation of this album was really fun. It got me out of my shell because I was always dabbling in producing, but I never fully committed to it. And my team in Korea, they encouraged me to try to make a little LP. And so we had this idea for 2 or 3 songs. I'm gonna hit up some of the homies I have in Korea. And then it ended up being 15 songs that I recorded in Korea. I just got carried away. I thought big and I started hitting people up on DM, even the ones that I thought were unreachable, the Jay Parks, the Jessies, and they all reached out back to me. We got a bunch of songs, and as soon as I got the list of artists, I started cooking up beats to accommodate to their sound or accommodate to a sound that I hear them doing that they weren't doing. So after I got all these ideas together, all the beats together that I pictured these artists on, I made a trip to Korea, booked out a studio for 10 days. And within those 10 days, we recorded 15 songs. That was another surprising thing. I thought people would be too busy to show up, so I was prepared to just send them the song and have them record it and send it back. But everybody was down to come. That was the pivotal moment for me because my whole take on music creation is we got to collaborate. We got to be in the same room. We got to share energies. We got to share stories that end up becoming a song. And once we did that, I knew we were golden. And Cha Cha was instrumental in helping me with No Lowkey. Francis is a featured producer on Homesick, Standout. I think those are only 2 on the first side. He might have one more, but on part 2, he got a couple. Hit Boy is on Kingpin. Hit Boy is on Turbulence. So my network, ended up being my net worth. It helped me a lot to have these people assist me in an environment that I wasn't fully comfortable with yet. And through this process, I got a lot more comfortable producing, and I look forward to doing it a lot more. After the first part of Did You Know, obviously there's going to be a part 2. Part 2 is going to show the softer side of me, the side of me that I'm comfortable with now, the side of me that I'm discovering within myself, and the side of me that I want to become in the future. So it's going to have more like R&B, pop, and like chiller vibes, of just because I don't feel like I have to prove anything to myself anymore. So less angry, less turned up, and a little bit more genuine for the time I'm at right now. To the international fans of Korean hip hop, first, thank you guys so much. Whenever I'm checking these Spotify numbers, I see mad numbers coming from Taiwan and the Philippines, Indonesia, all of Southeast Asia, even Japan, Brazil, Germany. I appreciate you guys so much. And, you know, hip hop has come a long way where the internet allows us to access things like that. Moving forward, I hope that you guys keep supporting us, and we will support you right back. So thank you guys.